seasons, new gear. Show the world what it means to be a fan in 100% authentic gear. Fanatics, officially licensed everything.
Get ready to dive into a new world of online shopping with the Fins Tailgate. Whether you're a die-hard sports fan or just looking for the latest fashion trends, we've got you covered. With a wide variety of products from your favorite sports teams to stylish accessories and home decor, we're your one-stop shop for all things tailgate. Our easy-to-use website and hassle-free checkout process make shopping with us a breeze. Plus, with frequent sales and discounts, you won't want to shop anywhere else. So come on in and join the party at the Fins Tailgate, your new go-to destination for all things tailgate.
What is up, everybody? Hope y'all having a great day. It is Wednesday, hump day. Yo, preseason game number 1 is just around the corner. We have some joint practices that we want to talk about. And before we do, let's talk about the Backroom Collections artwork. For your canvases, one-of-a-kind artwork, great pieces to in your office, your living room, wherever you may like to show your Dolphin pride, and visors for your mini helmets. Those things help your mini helmets look legit, as well as we have W Energy drink. Mine, of course, I always got mine right here. W Calio Cream is is still my favorite. I tried the other 4 different types. I still prefer the Calio Cream because I love oranges. Because I'm a Floridian. We're supposed to love oranges, right? I think. But and then we had a late night El Capitan coming back late night as always. Then you got Color and Ali coming at you first, top of the tailgate. Kari P is in this building. Me and Lewis, we're doing the drive time and the smoke lounge Monday and Wednesdays. I'm going to be doing more shows now that I'm done with, so I might be doing a couple of shows here and there, dropping some videos here and there. But this is a hell of a lineup. This is going to be a hell of a season. And before we get started, let's give a few shout outs to John Featherline, Pseudo Spike, what's going on? Brian's Brains. Carla, what's up? How you doing? You got Mark from the Bills Mafia. Hey Liz, how you doing? My man Michael K in the building. Mudbone, what's up? Kenna Rankin, what's going on? Man with the best name in the business, Dolphineer. We all want to be Dolphineers. Daniel Berry, Sports Highlights. V21. My favorite Oos, Q. What's going on, my brother? How you doing? And DDG, what's up, man? Like I said, I hope y'all having a great day, man. Man of the Hour Sports, what's going on, bro? How you doing? And, today was, I guess, joint practices. So, Color, I need to rely. I'm gonna rely on you. What have you heard out there so far?
I heard today. Well, I mean, I wasn't at practice, but obviously we've heard plenty of people talk about it. But I heard today mainly the biggest storyline of the day that I could see was obviously. Let's start with the negative stuff. Okay. Looks like Jalen Waddle was injured. We don't know. I don't think anybody knows the extent of it right now. He was seen walking gingerly off the field, holding his side after a hit a collision with the Atlanta defender. He got up slowly and again was holding his side when he walked off the field. Hopefully there's nothing major about that. And of course, on the other good front, Braylon Sanders, McDaniel had said, was expected to probably be ready back and going in a week or two. But as biggest thing I've really heard is that Mike White really is separating himself from Skyler and solidifying himself with at least showing the capability of being a number 2 quarterback. Whether we know really where they're at in the competition or not, that remains to be seen. But he at least made his case, and he's been making it well, from what I understand. So and that the defense got back on the right page today. Offense had some ups and downs, but still did halfway all right, and that they moved to practice indoors pretty early today after a lightning, or after, I guess lightning concerns is what people thought. And you'll have to then rely on, insiders and beat writers to kind of explain what happened beyond that inside the tent. So that's kind of what I can kind of tell you fairly with, listening to people I trust, obviously.
Of course.
Without having had firsthand eyewitness experience today.
By the way, one thing I did hear you say, because I took breaks from and in between the vehicles. I remember you were shout out to whoever, I think, who was holding. I don't know who was holding the space. I think was it Mountie?
Yeah, Mountie on there. It was Mountie. Yep.
Yeah, and he was saying, and one thing he did, I did hear you say, is that the fact that if Skylar Thompson, even though, Mike White did a good job today, Skylar Thompson, this shouldn't be the end all be all. He should have a equal opportunity to step it up within the next 3 games.
And last night I had read an article from Omar on that assessment where he had pointed out, look, and it was either an article or the All Dolphins podcast, I can't remember, but either case, he had pointed out, look, we don't know whether McDaniel is going to make up for that and in turn give a lot of 11 on 11, or in other words, switch the order where Skyler has a chance to hold on to the football till the end of the session and not give Mike White another shot. And if he can't do it, then he can't do it. You know what I mean? But if he did not do that, if they don't end up doing that, and it was meant to be a signal that Mike White is the guy, which is also a possibility, Omar pointed out, that they didn't bother to pull Mike White and give Skyler some reps because it might be a signal again that Mike White's the guy, that they've already made their decision. He's not sure yet. There's more camp to play out to find out what they do regarding that. And so, at the same time, if they never did, and it was a case of, look, this is where the money's at, we know what Skyler can do for us in an emergency situation. We want to really find out how far we can go in real game action with Mike, and we want to make sure he's clearly feels like the number 2 from the beginning. They could make all those decisions and then say, okay, here you go, Mike. If you can hold on to the ball till the end of the session and Skyler don't get a shot, well, that's just the breaks in the NFL. You know what I mean? And he held on to the ball all the way to the end of the session and Skyler didn't get a chance. That could be very well the last time we get this, that he gets a fair shot at the QB2 competition from Skyler's end. And, he did have a chance, although I don't like to trash him because I think he performed admirably given the situation in the playoff game and all that. And we still almost won it. Yeah. But given his draft status and all that and how things transpired last year, I think he performed admirably, and I'm proud of it. And I'm proud for it to continue to be a part of this Dolphins organization. However, he had a chance to right there say, fuck the situation. I'm Dan Marino. I'm being hyperbolic. But what I'm saying is he could have shown us in that playoff game that Mike White shouldn't even have a shot to come in here and be QB2. You see what I'm saying? So it wouldn't be unfair if Skyler didn't get to make up for it in another chance to answer back to Mike White. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Or maybe they're telling him, "Hey, Mike, this is Mike White's job to lose," in the hope that yeah, you know what, two things will happen: either he's gonna come out swinging with nothing to lose, or he's gonna fold like a chair.
Correct. And we could still be at that point where no decision has been final, and that's what they're trying to perpetrate. Absolutely, Shake. That's what Omar was pointing out. We don't know if it's going to turn around and Skyler will have a chance to keep Mike White off the field in a given day. You know what I mean?
This is an interesting development, though. On the one hand, Mike White, again, like you said, we had Skylar Thompson has a playoff experience, but at the same time, Mike White did a pretty good job, regardless of who he played, with the talent, the lack of talent that he had.
Yeah, I'd like to agree with that, Shake, and say at the very least, Mike, you could argue Mike White was the brightest spot of their quarterback room up there for the last season or two.
Yeah. Better than Zach Wilson, better than that. And you know what's funny is, because we talk about Skylar Thompson with playoff experience, well, there was another quarterback he outshined that had Super Bowl experience and a Super Bowl ring, which was Joe Flacco, and he kind of outperformed him.
Right. I mean, obviously Flacco later in his career, but whatever. Yeah, exactly. I don't think it's unfair. Nobody's trying to crown Mike White a world beater. But when you're talking about the perspective and the context of the New York Jets the last couple seasons in their quarterback room, you could argue he was their brightest spot. Whether how bright that is, we'll see for ourselves.
Would ask this question? Would you say that Mike White is having a better camp than Tua? Actually, I haven't heard. Not even TD said that. He just said he's having better flashes.
Well, it might have been put that he had a better day today.
Yeah.
Without, let's say, without trying to say that he's better than Tua per se, but somebody could be better than me, but if they're having a bad day, I'm on my best day, I might be able to be better than them on that day. And I think that's what the sentiment is that Mike White, maybe not overall camp, but there's been a couple days where he was the best guy on the field. To be quite honest, that doesn't mean that he's the best guy in the room. You know what I mean? That only years can tell that, as far as time-wise goes. But I've been there when days I've been there, Mike White has had a bad, like early on when he first got brought on board, I could say he had a couple bad practices. So I don't necessarily think he's been the best guy in camp. He's outperformed Tua overall in camp. No, I wouldn't say that.
But
Tua still has a lot as QB1. Tua still has a lot more on his plate in practice than the other guys. So, there's that too. You know what I mean? It is what it is. I don't think that he's outperformed Tua, although he has on occasion.
So while we wait, let me let's listen to this press conference real quick from the QB1, Tua Tagovailoa.
Yeah, I think you have a lot to correct when you have more negatives than you do positive. Obviously, you want to have more positive, but it's good when you have a joint practice. For us in the quarterback room, looking at it from the outside in, we didn't have a gauge on what they were going to be running or what to expect. We had one day under our belt, and so the second day we did come out, there were things that we wanted to try.
What's good, homie? You there, Touchdown Tyree? What's going on, brother? Can you hear me? Oh yeah, he's driving. We'll let him ride. We'll finish playing.
Try, so when you do go into the game, should you try it again? Like, should you not try it? That's, at your discretion. So I think it's good because you learn so much from those things. But outside of that, you just continue to keep moving forward with it, keep playing. Well, regardless of if it was the best day ever for the offense or it was the worst day ever for the offense. We got to keep growing. We got to continue to get better. There's a lot of things we need to clean up, and I think we're doing so in all these afternoon meetings.
So there's a natural give and take with the offense, the defense, whether you're playing Miami's defense or the Dolphins defense. But on the field, what's the one thing that you think trying to combat
I think the one thing that's really cool about joint practices is it almost simulates game-like situations where you have first down, second down, third downs. We had red downs. We have 2-minute situations. I think the cool thing about it is that, everyone's getting their adrenaline going, and you never know what's going to happen. You get a fight out there. Like, the biggest thing for us is we're trying to move on to the next play and like try to get back on track as like fast as possible. So like not letting the last play dictate how we play the next play and how we're going to move forward as an offense, like for the following play. So I think that's what makes these joint practices good, is that it simulates game-like situations and game-like feelings before you actually go out there and compete in actual games.
So do they actually like practice rolling joints and shit after practice? Like it's joint practice?
Yeah, I should be.
Two is like, I got the one-hander.
I'm just... Oh, got you. Yeah, well, it just wasn't up to our standard. There were some things that needed to be said that was the state of the union that our offense already knew, just reiterating that. And yeah, that's just what that was.
Do you feel yourself being even more vocal this year going into your fourth season?
Yes and no. I just feel like that's just me being myself, being in this offense going into year 2, and having understood what this offense is capable of and what we are able to do just wasn't up to the standard that day. So, I had to bring the guys up and, make sure everyone knew that.
Coach talked about procedural penalties and stuff. How much can a coach do about that? And how much is it up to the players to put it in?
Yeah, it takes all 11 of us on the field. It takes all 11 of us. It makes it tough when it's a move the ball period and you're going, you're marching it down. And then when you do have a big play, you try to get a cadence because of a situational deal, trying to figure out what the defense is doing. Like, guys are tired, and it's like trying to fight the mental urge of not jumping and just locking in. There's a lot of things that go on, that entail guys with procedural errors and whatnot. We got a lot of motions. We got a lot of things that are nuances in our offense. So you got to really be smart, and you really got to lock in and listen for everything. So it makes it tough.
So with this offseason, we've heard a lot about the muscle training and the jiu-jitsu. Curious if you do anything different with your diet as well.
Yeah, changed my diet up a little bit, but outside of that, it was what it was. Like I said, I've just been trying to get myself, give myself the best opportunity to, hopefully not get injured.
So Mike hasn't said who may or may not play in the preseason opener. But if you do end up not playing in it, what are some of the things that you do entering the game or during the game to kind of stay engaged and trying to make it as game-like as possible for yourself?
Yeah, I think mental reps are just as important as taking the physical reps. That's what it's all about. You got to understand the game as a coach. You got to understand the game as a player. It's also a lot different seeing it from the sideline than it is seeing it in the game. Things are moving quicker. You can see if things are open, but you can't feel pressure. You're just basically out there, gazing at what those guys have. So things could be open, but if pressure allows, or if protection allows you to throw a deep ball, a short ball like that, then it allows it. But for the most part, it's tough. You just got to stay in it mentally.
What have you seen from Mike White and Skylar Thompson?
I see a lot. I got the utmost respect for both of those guys. This is going to be the second year that Skylar's in the room with me. I mean, I know Skyler. We have a lot of animated conversations about football, and then just getting to know Mike White as well. Mike White's very smart, in the quarterback room. He has a lot of he has a lot to say as far as input as well. So it's really good to have both of them in there. No, I haven't. I haven't seen or heard of any of that. I don't have any family there. Um, yeah, I feel like I need to keep up like more with everything. I find things out from my wife. My wife's on social media, but I'm over here. I live under a rock.
You don't say.
I did not notice that. That's funny. I did not notice that. Yeah, that's a good catch. No orange jersey today, huh? I had no idea that there was no orange jersey today. I don't know whose playlist we were listening to out there. I'm sure. I'm sure it was. Mike probably has a plan for everything. So I don't know what that plan may be, but yeah, I don't know. Well, yeah,
Real quickly though, that's interesting. No one had the orange jersey, so could that be McDaniel's way of saying you guys, everyone sucked today?
So I was gonna say nobody, or at least nobody, rose to the occasion of earning that.
Mm-hmm.
Which lends some credence to the idea that practice was not the greatest yesterday, and even the coach agrees. You know what I mean? Because even when we've had kind of bad days before, somebody still earned the orange jersey. So that may be a statement to the public from McDaniel that yes, I do recognize we were subpar yesterday. So chill out, everybody. It's not like it's not like we don't smell our own stink. That's Mike McDaniel smelling his own stink and our team's own stink by not awarding the orange jersey to anybody. Yeah.
Yeah, especially against Atlanta.
Right. And there's nothing wrong with saying that. I'm not hating on the team by saying that. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I'm not rats off a ship because of that. It is what it is. It's day by day. It was a freaking murderously hot day yesterday, Shake. I mean, that's precisely the day I'd expect it to be a whole terrible day. I mean, I told everybody already this. I'll just repeat it one more time. I wake up yesterday in the evening and I checked the weather report without even looking at any of the training camp reports, and I saw what the temperature was, and I'm like, I guarantee you we had a bad practice today. That's all I needed to see was the weather. So I mean, it is what it is, man. It's not to be ignored. Don't get me wrong, and that's where guys like TD and some others come from. You can't ignore this, but you also can't imagine that we're done for because of it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And DDG brings up a good point right here. None of these coaches get an orange shirts worth of love. And it's like for instance, let's say the linebacker. Damn, every linebacker did well today. All the linebackers played lights out. You know what? Linebackers coach, here's an orange jersey. You get an orange shirt. You get to call the plays and the music and shit like that. Oh damn. Noah played lights out 2 days in a row. Sam
That's
Madison, you get no. I'm just saying. Let's say Sam Madison. All right. Sam Madison, you get you coached him up, so you get a orange shirt.
Right. Craycraft catches 3 touchdowns. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Wes, you get the orange jersey. You know what I
mean? Yeah. But here we go. Where is it? The hell?
What'd you do to the Tua video, Shake?
Here it is. I think.
I got to give them credit. They look really good. They're executing defensive wise. But for the most part, I just got to give them props. Yeah, that's it.
Coach has mentioned a couple of times the journey of training camp and how it clicks at certain times with different guys. Obviously, our second year here. Was there a time last year where you kind of felt that click happen for you?
I'm not too sure when I felt a click or when it was, but I was really dialed in on just trying to figure out how the offense was ran, how Mike wants the offense ran, who Mike is as a play caller. I was just dialed in on all of that and not worrying much about how my play was. I just felt as if I go through, how Mike would expect us to go through progressions, go through reads, and we should be fine. Just find a completion wherever it may be and get the guys going.
Last question. I don't know if you saw Waddle, but I don't know if you read it in that section, but did you see that? And what kind of camp has he been having?
Yeah, I did see that. I couldn't see, what had happened. I know he made the play, but I think Waddle has probably had one of the best camps, on our team this year, and it really started with OTAs. From the first day he came, he showed up. I mean, he was locked in. So, it's kind of unfortunate to see something like that happen. I hope that it's just a couple days or whatever, and I hope he gets better. But I think Waddle has had one of the best camps in this Miami Dolphins 2023 training camp. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
And that was the Tua press conference. I think he didn't seem too high, didn't seem too low.
Yep.
So what else? So who
Didn't
else?
seem too impressed with himself.
And of course, Tyreek Hill did Tyreek Hill things. You know what I mean?
Right.
So we hear. So what else? What else have you been hearing in training camp besides anything on defense?
Speaking of linebackers, I hear Cameron Good got an interception yesterday, I think, or today maybe. That's good to hear. Still working up, trying to earn one of those spots. And I do understand that Christian Wilkins was not in practice today, although Stephen Ross and Chris Greer were. And Jalen Phillips, despite no Christian Wilkins, still, from what I understand, still had a hell of a day and found himself in the backfield quite a bit.
So does Christian Wilkins look like he's going to get paid his money?
Well, we don't know. He wasn't in practice today, so I don't know if that has anything to do with why Ross was in practice with Greer. If they're there to get an opinion from McDaniel on the matter. And obviously, you don't necessarily want Christian Wilkins right there to get hurt in front of the boss or when you're talking about money, So maybe I'm making more of it than it is. Maybe the correlation's not there. But it just seems to me interesting that the boss was there today and Christian Wilkins was out of practice. That being said, even with Wilkins out, Jalen Phillips was still able to eat. So that's good news too.
Yeah, it was. I think Like I said, I have faith. I think it's going to be all based on scheme, and that's why when we lost, I understand the worry about losing someone like Jalen Ramsey, but I think he'll be fine.
Yeah, I agree. Healing fast. And also, Shake, I must give you credit, buddy. You know, you're steering this arc down the right path because we're gaining shipmates every single day, bro. You know what I mean? Turning heads, man. You know, more and more people turning around saying, wait a minute, this guy might actually work out. And we're picking up passengers all along the way because you're steering us to the right places, bro. Good job, man.
That's right. Noah is him Benogany, baby.
Well, ever since you took over the arc, bro, he's been starting to show up. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, man, I've been the arc captain since day one, baby. Founder. We just had to get in the right direction. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, there was some other people trying to bump you off the wheel, but you know, you showed them who's boss and nudged them out the way. Your hands firmly gripped on the
Damn
wheel
right.
of the ship. Yeah.
Hey, doesn't mean I wasn't looking at the life raft. Oh man, but no, I think this
Still got to
is,
make sure them life rafts don't have no rips in them, bro. Just saying.
and of course I think the preseason depth chart came out, and one thing that I found interesting is that McDaniel really doesn't buy in. He said he doesn't really buy into the whole depth chart thing. You know what I mean? So just because there is a depth chart doesn't mean it's. I think he just has to put one out. You know what I mean?
Right, and that pretty much echoes across the league for most teams. They're just, yeah. I mean, I'm not even sure McDaniel actually puts it out himself. From what I understand, some insider just kind of, you know, gets a feeling for what they're all talking about and puts it out.
Well, I have the actual. This is from the Dolphins homepage. So let me see if I find it here. Here it is. I'll share this real quick. We'll go over the the depth chart real quick. All right. Can y'all see it good or? You there, Color? Can you see the?
Yeah, it's fine for me. I mean, I can't anyway because I'm on my phone, but
right.
looks like it's in the right scale for the audience. You'll have to ask them.
But at any rate, we have wide receiver. You have Tyreek Hill starting and Jalen Waddle as the boundary guys. And then behind Tyreek Hill, you have Cedric Wilson, Berrios, and Braylon Sanders, and number 88, Swin, whatever his name is. Then behind Waddle is Craycraft, Chosen, Izukama, and Coleman. Fullback, you got just Ingold, no competition at fullback. And then you got running back 1 is Mostert, running back 2 is Jeff Wilson. Then you have
Wait,
Gaskin.
Are you saying we only have one fullback on the team, Shake? Is that what you're saying?
Ingold. Ingold.
But only one fullback, right?
Correct.
Okay, just wanted to make sure that was the fact.
Are you talking about Durham Smythe?
Not necessarily. I'm just talking about the fact that we only have one fullback on the team. That's all.
Mm-hmm. Oh, man. Then, of course, the quarterback position. That's Tua Tagovailoa, and Skylar Thompson. Damn, they don't even have the whatchamacallit, black men on this list. They must have. And then, of course,
they cut him. They cut him yesterday or the day before.
Yeah. And what I find interesting is that A-Chain is third behind Wilson. Wilson and Brooks. Of course, Durham Smythe is number 1, first tight end. Kraft is number 2, Serbert, and then Connor is number 4, right behind. So we have 5 tight ends. Higgins. But here's the interesting part where you have Siler ahead of Agba. Then you got Raekwon, Peely, and then Tyman as the defensive tackles.
Twyman, yeah.
Twyman, yeah.
Twyman's the guy, and no offense to the guy because he's actually pretty good. I watched him in practice. Real sound fundamentally in his drills. Very strong guy. But man, he looked. I swear to I am not lying here. When I first saw the guy walking next to the other dudes on the field, I thought it was one of their kids that got special access, bro. I really thought it was a high school football player, bro. I swear to God. It's unbelievable. If you saw this guy in action, you'd be like, wow. And he looked completely fundamentally sound in his drills, bro. He ain't no slouch, man. It's funny. Or interesting, I should say.
Mm. So it has been interesting. And of course, you have your cornerbacks, Ramsey and Howard, and then Van Gink, followed by Needham and Cater Kohu with Ingold and Bethel, and Noah and Bethel. So they're kind of like in the third string mode. The starting center is Williams. Eichenberg is the starting. Here's interesting. Eichenberg is ahead of Wynn when it comes to depth chart. I thought it would be the other way around. And then linebackers, you have Phillips, Baker, Long, and Chubb. And they I guess they listed the 2 inside linebackers are Riley and Tyndall. And then you have Van Ginkel and Reed backing up Phillips and Chubb. You think they're gonna do it in rotate? Like I said, it's probably fluid, that linebacker room. I think they're gonna be interchangeable. You don't know. They might like, for instance, Van Ginkel might start at one position at the start of the play and then move to another position after the snap. I could see that happening. So, oh man. So haven't had none of my guests that showed up today. So you know what? I'm gonna.
Oh damn!
I know. Oh well, it happens, man.
Nobody likes us anymore, Shake.
That's all right. We'll open up the panel.
It's okay. We got 37 people watching us that like us way more than our own guests, so we don't need them stinking guys.
Yeah. Here we go, baby.
There must be some flame war going on somewhere that everybody's
I got 64,
stopped
so
that.
64 watching.
Everybody was on their way over here shaking. They had to pull over and watch the car wreck. There must be some car wreck going on Twitter.
All right, here we go. What's up, Mark?
Oh,
Hey,
wait. First of all, I was giving us no credit. We got 65 people watching right now. What do we need them special guests for?
Well, you should have because you
What's
guys
up,
have a
Moya
good show.
TV?
I actually have
Mark.
a color. I do have a color question because he's all about stats and research and everything, and I respect that. And I just had a simple question: why is it that Latavius Murray, the third string running back for the Bills, has more career yards and more career touchdowns than all four of your NFL experienced running backs combined?
I don't know. Because they use them a lot in goal line short yardage situations.
Mm-hmm.
No, because he has more career rushing yards. If you take the combined stats of Mostert, Wilson, Gaskin, and Ahmed, and I'm excluding obviously A-Chain in there because he hasn't played yet, but he has more career yards than the four of them combined, and he has 55 career touchdowns.
Because
The rest of them have 39.
Bro, he played for Minnesota, bro.
So did Dalvin Cook.
I know, and Dalvin Cook has 4 straight 1,000-yard seasons. That makes sense.
Thank you, Michael K. That was, I guess. So what's going on, More TV? How you doing?
I'm all right, brother, man. I hope you all doing good.
Yeah.
I had a quick question for y'all.
Wait, I'm sorry. Did I roast him right out the building with that? Was that that easy an answer?
No, Michael K with the $10 timeout.
Oh, appreciate it, Michael K. Felt good anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, guys.
Yeah, so I was going to ask you guys, man, you think there's a possibility that nobody got that orange jersey because McDaniel didn't want the defensive guy or whoever it was on the Falcons on the other side to be like, oh, you got that jersey on me? You know what I'm saying? Like, he doesn't want the guy on the other side, on the other team, to see that the guy he's playing against got the orange jersey. That way it would, hype them up to play us better.
That's a great point.
No bulletin board material.
Right. That's a great point. And also to respect the other guy. I mean, that's kind of like poking him in the eye. You know what I mean? He's just trying to be out there practicing at camp, and you poke him in the eye by putting his guy in the orange jersey. You know what I mean? I think it's a matter of professionalism. I could see that for sure.
Yeah, I could see that as well. There he goes. So, yeah, man. It's crazy.
Wait, who was that, bro?
That was Moya TV. He comes every once in a while.
Oh, okay.
He has a good channel too, by the way. I recommend.
Right on.
Oh, there you are. You
I'm having a bad connection right now, man. Hey, man, love y'all show, dog. Y'all keep it up, man. I'm gonna get out of here, bro.
All right, man. By the way, I checked out your channel. It's a pretty good channel, entertaining channel, by the way.
Thank you, man. It wasn't nothing serious I was making, but it was like a family thing at first.
I feel you.
Yeah. All right, y'all boys. Y'all take it safe.
Be safe.
All right, buddy.
Yeah, man. No, it trips me out is how come you're more rushing yards than your running backs combined? Oh well. What you want me to do with that? Cry?
Right.
Why did and here's the thing. Last year, the Jets' backup quarterback had more Super Bowls than all the quarterbacks in the AFC East combined.
I mean, was that some veiled attempt to let us? Right? Was that some veiled attempt to let us know that Buffalo is going to have a better running game than us this year? Is that what that was?
I guess that's what it was.
All right. Wow.
Oh man. I appreciate I like him because gives us a villain. Everybody needs him.
Michael K has a knack for coming in right when you need him, bro. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, Michael K. especially since I opened up the panel.
He's like, anybody gonna make fun of me, it's gonna be me. Timed out, Mark.
Well, well, who was the running back he was referring to?
Latavius Murray, I believe, who was backing up Cook for a minute in Minnesota.
Bills running back room.
And then I think he went to Vegas. I could have that backwards, but I think he played with the Raiders too.
Well, he's 33 years old.
Right. He's gonna throw a Latavius Murray at me, bro. Like, seriously.
If that's the case, he's got more. Doesn't he got more running yards than his running back room combined?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man.
And this is only our running back rooms after only its first year, and we've added a guy like A-Shane. You know, I mean, we don't know yet, but he's been looking good in camp. You know, I mean, and Mark can say what he wants about being camp. I'm pretty sure they were saying Cook was looking good in camp last year for them. So, you know, come on, you know, how'd that work out for y'all? Now everybody wants to get his brother there. Why? He can't get the job done himself? Well, I want my brother in the room with me. Shit.
You know, at one point when we had Frank Gore had more rushing yards than a lot of people combined. Yeah, he's your third string. Okay, congratulations. You got somebody.
Why don't we just go get Le'Veon Bell? You know what I mean?
You got somebody at the tail end of their career. Oh,
let's go get Thurman Thomas. Has he found his helmet yet?
What's going on, Michael K? How you doing, my brother?
What's up? Hold on. I'm getting a phone call. No, that's good. I just muted it. Nothing. I thought you guys summoned me up there.
Yeah. Fuck it.
Hey, did you see that thing I sent you about what AJ Hawk said about what people see during training camp?
No, I didn't.
Oh, you didn't watch it?
Not yet, at least.
Yeah, watch it later. They were talking to Jordan Poyer today, and they were talking about one-on-ones, and McAfee came right out and said, you know what, people, they don't know what they're looking for. Coaches know what they're looking for. Fans and reporters don't have a clue.
Of course.
And he called them right out. And I was drinking my beer. The only reason I sent that to you is I thought it was pretty funny that he had said it. You know, when people are going against other players and, you know, reporters and everything else.
But you know what I find interesting is the fact that, like, for instance, if you're studying for a big test and you're taking the practice exam, nobody gives a fuck about how poor you do on that practice exam. If you do poor, it's all about game day. So at the end of the day, I don't subscribe to anything that's happening right now until game day, because at the end of the day, this is why you do preseason games, because you're trying to get the kinks. It's like, you if you've been a truck driver for so long and then all of a sudden you stop doing it for a while. I mean, I know you don't stop truck driving, but at the same time, if you stop doing it for 10 months, you stop doing it for 10 months, you get back in the wheel. You're not going to be as when you were, you know what I'm saying, 10 months ago.
Right. You might hit a couple of curbs on a right-hand turn or take a couple of swipes at bumping a dock or something.
Mm-hmm.
But AJ Hawk was just pretty much coming out and saying, you know what, the basic person can watch a play and say, oh, that was great.
Hey, but you don't have to go back to truck driving school to pick it back up, bro. That's the point.
No, you just got to do it again. You just got to do it, and you got to have time. Right, but essentially, what he was saying,
they're expecting our guys, our veterans, to be like, oh, Oh my God, are they winning their battle? You're lucky they're even out there. They don't even need to be out there, man, other than to get back into condition. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, and that's the one thing. The older they get, they don't move as good as they used to. So they might have to tweak some of their form to compensate for what they can't do anymore, which is repetitions. Like we'll say when Ramsey comes back with his meniscus, he might not be able to do something they could do before the injury. So he's going to need a little bit of time to figure out what he can do to possibly cover up what his shortcoming will now be, if there is one. Or Von Miller with his ACL.
Yeah. But at the end, like I said, at the same time, this is where you throw the interceptions. This is where you fumble the ball because, you if you're gonna make mistakes, now is the time to make the mistakes.
Absolutely, absolutely, and that's essentially what AJ Hawk said. All these fans and reporters could say it's the worst practice they ever had, and the coaches could be sitting in their offices saying, "Man, they really look good out there today." You know what I mean? Nobody knows. Nobody knows what these coaches are thinking.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I just sit back. And then you got people with their stats. Who cares what they did in 2021? It's now 2023.
Yeah, and like I said, when I'm back breaking it back to truck driving is like, for instance, if you're driving a car for the first time, right? You do that shit on an open field. So, like for instance, your U-turns and things like that. You do it where there's no possibility of you fucking anything up. So practice is the time, like for instance,
modify your analogy to include the Northerners. That's how they teach their young kids how to drive on the snow. They bring them out, hold on. They bring them out to a parking lot when it's snow and ice and just let them do donuts all day, just to learn to get the feel of how to pull out of a fishtail. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Old malls it used to be malls on Sunday when the stores weren't open.
And you can donut all over the place without hurting anything. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And you know what? And maybe the Mike McDaniel says, I noticed that this guy he struggles against this cornerback with this route, but now that he's used to the cornerback that he's playing with day in and day out, let's see how he does against somebody else, and he's not doing so good. Let's see what can we do to better make his route running better. They do little things like that. They look for matchups where they want to see where the guy's struggling to see how can we fix it and how can we get it better, and trying to get those issues straightened out at game time is just stupid to me. This is the time to straighten that out, like I've alluded to before.
Oh, absolutely. It's like the one-on-one drill. You tell me any receiver in the NFL that can't get open one-on-one, when it's just one-on-one, one defensive back and the receiver. You name one receiver that can't get open against one guy. And you got to base it on 11 on 11 because chances are that guy's eventually going to get open. But how long does it take him? How long does it take that receiver to get open? You know what I mean? If it takes him 8 or 9 seconds, the play's already over with. If he can get open in 3 or 4, he's going to get the ball.
So how are the Buffalo Bills training camps looking like?
I don't pay attention to that crap. No, because you know what? There's nothing I can do. What I do is I'll sit there and I'll listen to Bean or McDermott or Dorsey or Smiley or whoever's talking and what they have to say. What the players have to say doesn't even make a difference to me because the players aren't going to give anything up. It's all generic answers.
Let me ask you, like for instance, you've heard, you've been a frequent of the show, and we played McDaniel's press conferences, and you just want to ram your head in the wall. Is McDermott like that too?
No, but you know what? I think McDaniel gives more information than McDermott does. It just takes him a lot longer to get it out. McDermott, he talks in circles. He talks like a lawyer, and he doesn't really give you any information. He says a lot without saying anything, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
But you get like somebody like all these people are hopped up on this Dalton Kincaid. Well, Dorsey had a press conference today, and he said he's coming along really well, but he has growing pains. We got guys in here that already have him in the Hall of Fame. He's not even going to play a snap in the NFL. He's going to be at the Hall of Fame next year, according to these guys.
Well, he's a weapon. I thought he was a weapon, quote unquote.
Oh, he's going to be a weapon. But there was a question in Dorsey's press conference today, and they were talking, and I believe it was between. The question was about Sherfield and Shakir, and who's going to be the main slot receiver. And Dorsey came right out and said, right now we don't even know. He goes, because they both can play outside, is what he said. So I know they weren't talking about Kincaid. You couldn't tell who the question was. You can't hear our reporters' questions all that well. But his answer said, we're not sure yet, but they can both play outside. So yeah, Kincaid will be flexed out every once in a while, in the slot, just to give the matchups that we want. But it's either going to be Sherfield or Shakir, and I know Sherfield's lighting it up. That's what everybody's talking about is how well Sherfield's doing in camp.
Yeah, I mean, he did pretty good for us last year. So, and plus he's a good run blocker.
Well, and that's what you need too. Kincaid can't block, and if Kincaid can't figure out how to block, he won't be getting the snaps that everybody thinks he's going to be getting because there's no point in it. Because you got Dawson Knox who can block and he can catch. You look back at Gronkowski and the murderer. What was his name? The thug.
Hernandez.
Yes. Their 12 personnel was just unstoppable because those guys could do both. They both could block and they both could catch.
Oh yeah, man. He was a weapon for Tebow back in Florida.
Yeah, and you know what? He was an idiot, obviously. He had the world by the balls, and he goes and does something stupid like that for something that didn't even make a difference.
Nope. Unless you got to pick your battles.
So that's why none of the Bill starters will play on Saturday. I don't think they'll play until the third game, and they'll only probably play a down or a set of downs, maybe two sets.
I think Miami is going to be playing their starters. Maybe the first series, like normal. That's normally they do it.
In the first game.
Yeah, first game, first series.
Oh, maybe because they didn't. I think the question was asked and they didn't answer the question. They just said we don't know yet. Blanket answer. Even if we do know, we're not telling you type thing.
It's not like you're going to give game plans away. You know what I mean?
Our Omar Kelly, Michael, said that it just comes down to the rest of this week whether our first team earns the night off Friday night. In other words,
really,
so we may actually see some of our starters, but I still only estimate until they get it right, until they have a couple plays where it looks great, and they'll be out of there. Whether that's a quarter and a half series, 2 series, that will, who knows. But Omar thinks it's just a matter of whether the rest of this week in the joint practice, whether they can earn that night off or not.
Right. Well, Tua's not going to play. Tua won't start, and I can pretty much promise that Armstead won't get any playing time because he has a history of injury.
Mm-hmm.
There's just certain players that you won't see just so, it's like the older players going out there and, pulling a groin or a hamstring or something. That's the last thing you want. But the younger starters, yeah, they'll probably play, especially if you have issues with your front line, with your offensive line. Get them in there at least against their number twos. Who knows? Who do you play? The Falcons? Yeah. So depending on who the Falcons play, it depends who you put in against them. And don't think the coaches.
On defense, yeah, but it didn't make a difference last year against the Eagles. They sat Hurts, and we still played Tua. You know what I mean? So,
well, Tua was still kind of an unproven back then, wasn't he?
Well,
he didn't have He didn't have the concussion issues last year.
Depends on who you ask at that point of the preseason last year. You know what I mean? There were people calling for not playing him at all, last year, but doesn't mean those people knew what they were looking at, but whatever,
Right. So maybe he will get at least a set of downs. I don't think they'll dress him the first game. If they dress him, I would say it's the second game.
It just depends on if there's something that Mike McDaniel wants to see out of Tua in a situation where it's more like real game speed than what we've seen thus far. So if he needs to see him in a real drive situation for a particular player to not quantitatively, but like let's say he needs to have him run a couple drives just so he can work one or two plays in that he needs to see him on. You see what I'm saying? And that's it.
Absolutely.
The sooner they get those right, the sooner the first team's off the field.
Yeah, I'm sure over the offseason, I'm sure he wrote up a bunch of new plays that he wants to see how they're going to look at, full game speed.
Okay, right. And now you are talking vanilla defense and not game planned and all that, but still quasi game planned. You're still playing fundamental football. It's not like the play. Somebody said it great earlier today. I wish I could give him credit for whoever it was, but it's not as if you're not. It might have been TD. It's not as if you're not playing real NFL football plays. They might be vanilla and they might not be game planned and all of that, but they're still plays that are ran in the NFL. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. The only thing about preseason is you're not allowed to blitz. You can't run blitz packages. So that's the only thing. That's just the quarterback. Oh yeah, that's been a rule forever.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Learn something new. See, long as I've been watching this game, still learn something new every day.
Which it doesn't hurt Miami because they're not going to blitz that much anyways. So that's not something that they got to worry about, not being able to blitz.
By the way, hold on. Where are we? I got a little bit of chosen. This is off the Dolphins social media. So, what's going on, Canes Heat? You there?
I think he's muted, or he lost connection like I do sometimes.
Canes Heat, can you hear me, Canes Heat? What's good, Big Nick?
What's going on, fellas? I'm listening, so I'm not going to participate until, I guess the whole crew get here. But you can blitz in the preseason. You can't blitz in the Pro Bowl. It's the Pro Bowl. There's no stunts or blitzes. But in the preseason or regular season, you can blitz all you want.
They mentioned it on the Hall of Fame game. There's no blitzing.
Yeah, that's in the Pro Bowl. There's no blitzing or stunts, but you can blitz. You can't blitz. You can't tell me I can't practice my season.
Hold on. I got to Google it now because they said it on the Hall of Fame game. You can't blitz in the preseason.
Yeah, Google it.
Hold on, I'm working. I'm probably gonna end up hanging up on you.
Hold on. I'll look it up. Don't worry. I
got it. I got it. Can you blitz in preseason?
Now, we know Siri is a Buffalo fan, so don't be asking Siri. Make sure you're asking Google.
I got the other one, and she almost heard you. She started lighting up.
Right, exactly, when I said the word Buffalo.
No, yeah, Buffalo. Yeah, she lit up on Buffalo, too.
Exactly what I would expect out of an Apple device. Stephen D.
I don't have Apple. I got the other one. I got Google.
No, wait. Stephen D hates Apple, right? Or is it the other way around? You remember, Shake?
What's that?
Stephen D. Does he hate Apple or does he, not like Apple? Right. Okay. Gotcha.
He calls him crapple.
Right. I mean, series of Buffalo fan. Enough said.
Right here, the unwritten rule. The unwritten rule.
Wait, there ain't no such thing as unwritten rules. That's a logical fallacy,
I wouldn't
bro.
even say that unwritten rule. I wouldn't even say that. I wouldn't even mention that.
That's a logical fallacy, bro. Unwritten rule.
Yeah, the unwritten rule is no blitzing, and you can do stunts, but no blitzing. You can only send 4. Is the unwritten rule. So essentially, what's going to happen is people will get a bad name if they blitz. I just knew that there was no blitzing in preseason.
Oh yeah, like John Harbaugh is ever worried about fucking class, right?
John Harbaugh's, yeah. Do they blitz that much?
No, I'm talking about when he ran 59 points on us in the tanking year. Okay, like in our own stadium, bro. You know, like
you don't think Dick LeBeau blitzed in the preseason, man?
Who?
Dick LeBeau.
I didn't hear you. Oh, I don't know.
Dick LeBeau.
I don't know. There's just preseason, and the coaches kind of know what they're going to call too.
Man, this ain't baseball. There ain't no unwritten rules in football, bro. This ain't baseball.
The only time you can't blitz or stunt is in the Pro Bowl.
It's like flag football.
Like the unwritten rule of not flipping your bat, and that kind of stuff. Yeah, everybody does it, and then they get pegged by the baseball, and everybody's like, it's okay to almost kill that guy with a 90-mile-an-hour baseball coming at him just because he flipped his bat from hitting a home run. You know what I mean? Like, let's endanger the guy's life because he was a little bit of an asshole flipping the bat.
Mm-hmm.
That's baseball.
Well, you see that fight last week or a few days ago?
No, I haven't been following this year, Michael.
Oh my God! And I don't even know who it was. Detroit, maybe. Does anybody know in the chat of who the baseball fight was?
Damn.
See, to me, if it can be proven that you throw at a guy's head and it can be proven that you were actually targeting him for some retaliation in the game situation, I don't care about waivers and all that shit. That guy gets clonked on the noggin, bro. That ain't no different than what Tyreek Hill did, right?
Mm-hmm. El Toro. What's up, El Toro?
What up? Man, what's up, Shake? What up? Color?
What's going on? Living the dream, baby.
What's up, man?
Off work, man. Listening to y'all, man. What's up with the fans? Bro, what happened today? Did we practice? I don't know nothing. I literally worked all day.
What's going on, gentlemen?
What's going on, Kane? Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out because I heard Waddle was walking gingerly, but they say there's no injury, so thank God for that.
Yeah, I was going to ask you guys about that.
Yeah, so far he's doing good. I haven't heard anything from the beat writers, so
I had a question for Kohler. I was listening to you guys earlier on Steven's show talking about Eichenberg. If he keeps playing like this, man, like how much longer? I mean, I get what you guys were saying earlier, but how much longer do we, just say they need to do something with the line? I mean, we all agree on that, right? I mean, he's gonna get Tua killed, bro.
That's like being what is that? Like a dead horse? Like That's like, I don't know, save your breath. Why even talk about it? The dude's been trash since. His film was. It was alright. It wasn't amazing, but he's been very unathletic since he came into the league. There's no surprises with that guy.
Yeah, I mean, the only explanation I can give is that it's a really cynical game. I mean, because for whatever reason, they feel the same way about Eichenberg that they do about the other guys that they brought up with him,
Yeah, but it gets to the point where it's just like, I know everybody keeps saying Chris Gear doesn't want to show that he fucked up by, getting, drafting those guys. But sometimes would you rather get Tua killed or try to keep your
again
pride?
that's where
Well, I heard Omar say today. Out his own mouth on him and Poopart's show out his own mouth that Austin Jackson is having the best camp out of all the line.
Right.
So,
and also this is at which point when there's so many people making so many different assumptions, what a person needs to do for themselves logically is eliminate the number of assumptions, i.e. apply Occam's razor. And
did you hear who I said that though?
The answer with the least amount of assumptions is that Chris Greer just believes in him.
What I'm saying, that's all well and good. I believe that as well, that Chris Greer believes in him and McDaniel believes in him. I do believe that. But what I'm saying is, out of all people, Omar Kelly is saying Austin Jackson has, impressed him.
Right. As far as reports go,
I don't think we should be continuing the same narrative, including Austin Jackson, in this conversation about the line when the only one that everybody's talking about consistently is Liam Eichenberg. And for some reason, people still want to group Austin Jackson.
Yeah, but it was so bad today that I heard TD was saying that it was so bad that they even had him doing his own workout drills because he was doing that bad.
TD also say that Tua threw the most horrible pass, and
I'm not listen. I don't listen to everything TD says. I'm just saying.
He's extra. TD is extra.
Steven's show, and they were just doing play-by-play.
TD is extra, and then to me, it's just to Big Nick. I don't think that the fans are qualified enough to even give an evaluation on practice because they have no idea what that individual player is working on, what the coaches are looking for, and what they're having the players do.
Which is exactly what Jordan Poyer was echoing, according to Michael Kay today in the Buffalo sense.
But I said this yesterday or whatever day that was. I said the exact same thing to Pete.
We all a couple of us have, Big Nick. I've been trying to preach the same thing, bro. But when you say it's just practice, people think that you're being flippant and you're just ignoring whatever problems we have. And we're not doing that. We're just saying we don't know what an actual problem is because we don't know how the coaches are handling their practice.
Absolutely.
Well, that's
Tyreek said it again today.
Everybody thinks that they work for the Miami Dolphins and they know what the hell they got going on. Just like you, TD, Kohler, Shake. Any of you guys might give your insight, but that doesn't make you right.
That's all we can do. For instance, when I see, real quick, let me give an example. When I see Cameron Good working along the group in the Chubb and Phillips group, I can assume, they're setting him aside from the Baker, Van Ginkel, David Long group. You see what I'm saying? Like in what his role is intended to be.
Yeah. Well, hey, but real quickly, Big Nick, real quick. I just want to open the floor to my Cuban partner here, who's on Cuban time. I appreciate you living up to the stereotype, my brother. You've been on Spaces all day. What have you heard from day 2 training camp? Real quickly, Lewis.
Hey, what's going on, Shake? I'm sorry, it's not Cuban time. It's working time. Work was kicking my ass. Sitting in Twitter is a lot easier than being up here. But listen, for sure. With a guy like you in the background, Shake, holding it down, man. You are, like I said, you're the stud of the group. I
appreciate you, my
brother. I guess we can and salute everybody on the panel. I guess we can get into things a little bit later, but I did want to touch on something real quick about, and again, this is just my opinion, about what the conversation I just walked into about the practice, right? I get what everybody's saying, and I know maybe some of us were, I don't want to say concerned, but we kind of touched on it about yesterday. And the one thing I will say, did anybody listen to Coach McDaniel? And again, when you listen, you only hear what you want to hear, me included. I'm not saying anybody up here. I'm putting myself in that as well. But when you listen to Coach McDaniel says that yesterday was 50-50. It was average at best, and he don't accept average. He was telling everybody, and this is where everybody knows they call me a Flores apologist, right? They know how much I love Flo. I respect that from Coach Mike McDaniel. Because if I said this about Tua, I'm about to say it about McDaniel now, right? I think Mike McDaniel knows the kind of roster he's working with. I think he understands the team that's in Miami, what's in place. And when you come out, and this is what the point I was trying to make yesterday, against the Atlanta Falcons, Miami is just better. So I'm not saying that we need to dominate the whole practice. I'm not saying we have to win every rep. But it can't be 50-50 with a top 3 roster going against the Atlanta Falcons.
I respect Mike McDaniel for saying the same thing, Lewis. The only thing I would say to that is if I was his personal friend, I would actually be like, bro, lay off of yourself a little bit. It was just one day. In other words, I'd be saying the same thing to him. You know, I respect him for his standards. You know what I mean?
But it's like, bro. No.
But let me butt in real quick. Let me butt in.
Hold on, Nick, because I wasn't even finished. Let me what I'm saying. We don't have to win every rep, but if there's 8 reps, I need Miami winning 6 out of those 8. It can't, like I said, it can't be a 50-50 thing. And I get what Color's saying, and I get what everybody's saying. It's one day of practice, but at the end of the day, this is a Super Bowl roster, and you don't patient and go and just go. Hey, listen, guys, it was one day. No, we're pedal to the metal, and we're letting everybody know the Miami Dolphins are here. This is not what we expect.
Thing about it, Lewis, the thing that I respect is that the man can smell his own stink. That's what you're basically saying.
But see, even with that, our fan base have the tendency of being overreacting, being too literal when it comes to the things people say. Because I've never heard a head coach get up there and say, yeah, we got a Super Bowl team right now. We're going to win the Super Bowl. I don't care how good they think their team is. They're never going to come out and pat themselves on the back about their team. So, you know, we don't know what he's thinking, but he's not going to.
But he didn't say that. No.
But he didn't say we sucked either. He said if average is what
you see again. I know. You're hearing what you want to hear. I didn't say that. What I said was,
I know you did, but you just said it. But you were just about to say, but he didn't say. You was just about to say that, so it can go either way, Lewis, because you can't have it.
No. I did not say that.
Too.
You're wrong again. You're putting words in my mouth. I'm telling you and everybody up here that's listening as well. I believe Mike McDaniel is letting everybody know he believes this is a Super Bowl roster.
Yeah.
You don't have to say it. Has anybody read between the lines? The man came out and said, this is what I don't understand about some people, right?
Yep.
We tried to argue about what the man said. The man said that he was asked a specific question about yesterday's practice. He said, in my opinion, there was some good, there was some bad. It was 50-50. And he said, and I quote, that was average, and I don't accept average. I don't rock with average. What do you think that man's telling everybody? That man is letting us as fans and the team know that was some bullshit that they put out yesterday. Because again, I've said it and I've said it, keep saying it. We were 9-8 and 10-6 the past 2-3 years, right? Why is Buffalo again 13-4? Because they're teams like the Atlanta Falcons and Carolina
and Minnesota,
the Giants. And Minnesota, Buffalo don't lose those games.
Well, they did lose to Minnesota, but we still should have beat them.
Saying.
But if we start the season 4-0, nobody's going to break up August 8th.
Hey, hold on, Tony.
Before
you go, I want to give the floor real quick to Papa Paul. First of all, he's been boots on the ground, and secondly, what's on the menu for today's show?
Well, we got. John and Marie is going to talk about Canton. They were there for like 4 or 5 days up in Canton. Special guest DJ Crockett is on, just as a fan, to tell us why he's a Dolphin fan and stuff like that. And we're going to discuss training camp like you guys.
Okay, but what are your thoughts on today's practice?
Well, I'm back home, so I didn't see practices this week, but I agree with Lewis. What coach is saying, we're better than 50-50. And 50-50, he's not accepting because we're way a lot better.
And that's all I'm saying.
Yeah. And so
I don't know. There's people in the chat disagreeing with me, and I really don't see how. Like I really
But
don't.
shouldn't that give you a
I
sense
think
of
it's only
relief
because
to
a
hear
lot of
Coach
those
say
people
that?
trust that we're going to get it right, Lewis. I think is what the reason.
My takeaway from that, when
I
Coach
never
says,
said that they weren't. I never said that we weren't going to get it
I'm
right.
not saying you did.
Said,
I'm not accusing you of that. You're right.
I'm sorry, Papa. I'm gonna throw it right back at you. But all I'm saying is that Mike McDaniel is setting the tone. We should all want this. That was encouraging to hear. I'm not shitting on what
I get a
he
relief
said.
off my shoulder. That I exhale when I hear that. I go, woo. When I hear my coach say
Exactly.
we're
What it
better than
means is
50-50.
his standards. He's
Wait,
putting his standards
you don't
as
let
high as
people land,
ours.
Color, let us land, please, Color. We know you want to get in there.
Come on, man. I was just making a point like everybody else.
But all I'm saying is when I hear Coach saying, when the way Lewis describes it so passionately about Coach believing we're better than 50-50, to me, that makes me go, woo. Oh, okay, I feel much better. That makes me feel better than to focus on, okay, well, we didn't have a dominating practice against a team we didn't game plan for. That makes me feel better. See, everything, there's a silver lining. You can either see we going to hell in a handbasket, or you can see, okay, I can see the benefit of that. So I guess it's all perspective.
That's what I'm saying.
How you choose to see it.
No, but I'm again. See, you're trying to paint
I'm
a
not
narrative that's not
criticizing you.
there.
I'm not criticizing you.
Okay, what I'm saying is I
let him
see it the
land.
same. I see it the same way as I'm just not explaining it your way, but I agree with you. It's encouraging, right? Like I think he's lighting a fire. What was said, right, was he was sending a message to that locker room.
I'll let you get
This
Tony
is
next,
unacceptable with your talent, with again, top 3 roster, and we're 50-50 with the Atlanta Falcons. Nah, bro, we were 50-50 with the Atlanta Falcons in 2020. Year 1 of this rebuild. Year 2.
Tell them, Lewis.
2023, we 50-50 with the Atlanta Falcons? Oh, no. And I absolutely love that from my head coach.
By the way, go ahead, Tony. Let Tony. He's been wanting to say something. Go ahead, Tony.
Yeah, no. For me, I look at these practices. For me, I look at from the perspective of both teams. To be honest, I'm a Dolphins fan, but I'm looking at it from the perspective of both teams too. Maybe it's 50. The 50-50 thing is maybe they're helping a younger team like the Falcons develop their players too. This is helping these joint practices are actually helping both teams. The Dolphins, who are a contending team, but it's helping a young team like the Falcons develop their young players to be where the Dolphins are going to be in the future, where they expect their team to be where the Dolphins are in the future. So for me, I'm looking at it from both directions. A young team like the Falcons who don't really have a ton of veteran guys besides their offensive line. Most of their team is young players and stuff like that, and where these practices are helping them develop their young players and also helping the Dolphins. You understand what I'm saying, guys?
Yeah, I understand. By the way, Fred, I just want to say, Fred.
Could I at some point say the 5-second thought that I had since I respected everybody and let everybody land?
I just wanted to say, Fred, you look better with your camera off. But go ahead.
God damn, man. Well, it don't make no sense to say it now, bro.
I know.
Now that everybody's been able to sit here and write a book for the last 10 minutes. Damn.
Tell them, Color. Hey, man, I like all y'all takes.
All the man was doing was telling everybody that he expects the same thing out of this roster that the fans do. That's all he was doing.
Yeah.
Hey, Esther, I know you like my takes, bro.
Go ahead, Esther.
I know you like my takes, man.
Let Esther, go ahead. You've been trying to land. Go ahead.
I love Nick's takes, but because you got to have them homer takes. Them fans that defend the forward. What, bro? Like, Edie can't even say that Tua had a shitty pass, even though he probably did. Josh Allen did that shitty pass in practice. I'm not that worked up about it. I love my team, but it's practice. And I think, Lewis has a lot of shitty takes, but he had a good take. I give him credit because in practice, if you can't get it done in practice, then you ain't gonna get it done on the field. So I give Lewis credit for his take. I agree with that 100%. He has to be critical now, you're not going to get game day, and we're all going to be bitching and complaining later on. So this is where you fail. I don't really care about the Falcons developing players. Really, I don't think our team going in gives a shit about the Falcons. I think they're going in. Don't care about their development. In my opinion, I wouldn't be going in there and trying to develop nobody's team besides myself. I'd be selfish because when the season starts, nobody cares about your hospitality. You know what I mean? So it's about us. It's about getting the championship already. Forget all the bullshit. I don't know why we're still talking about Liam Eichenberg. That's not even a mystery. The dude just don't fit. You know what I mean? Like, whatever you got to do, just get somebody else. I don't know why the Dolphins are the one team who, for whatever reason, they just can't move on from certain players. Instead of just fixing what's the obvious issue, they for whatever reason, they try to band-aid, you know what I mean, a hole, and that'll never get patched. I don't get it. So anyway, that's me, man.
Hey, Shake.
I love you, Nick, man.
All right, brother. What, Fred?
Hey,
go ahead. You gonna say something?
Yeah, man. My thing is, man, I don't care about no practice. I don't care about no scrimmage, man. You know, they are what they are. Practices and scrimmage, they don't count. What I'm looking for, Shake, is what I'm not looking for are any more injuries, man. That's it with me.
Does anybody have an update on Jalen Waddle by chance?
Oh man,
it was nothing major.
Yeah, they don't think it's major.
Yeah, it was on his side. It wasn't even his leg, really. It was on his side. I think he was cramping, if anything, because he walked off, wasn't limping. You know, so.
Well, supposedly they said he went to go make a catch on the ball, and when he was going to the ground, the ball he landed on the ball. So that's what I heard. It kind of took the wind out of him. I don't think it had nothing to do with his leg or anything like that. So.
Yeah, exactly. It was on his side.
Y'all almost took the wind out of me with that, man. Shit.
No, he's all right. I know I did want to say, I'm glad to see the homie. I mean, he was dead wrong, but I'm glad to see the homie Estefan being up here. I thought, I thought I was never gonna be able to get the chance to tell him, Esther, I thought you fell asleep with Earl Spence, homie. What's good? What's going on?
Hey, every dog has to say, brother.
Give a shout out.
I'm a fan. I know Bud came in and he got it done. So now it's on to bigger and better things. I know his old ass better hurry up and start scheduling some fights that matter. I saw Earl Spence, because he's 36 years old, it took too damn long to take that fight. So he needs to come on.
Who is all this?
Hey, by the way, let me give a special shout out to my homeboy CB83. Lewis, have you heard of him before?
Who has all the feedback, Shake?
Oh, you mean BQ38? Is that you're talking about?
Who'd you say, Shake?
CB83, have you heard of him?
Oh, no, I don't know who that is. Y'all keep mentioning this guy, and I don't know who y'all talking about. I don't know who that is.
How about this guy right here, EM Dolphin fan? Do you know who he is?
Yeah, well, yeah. Listen, I can't help all I can say, we have a lot of hoes in the community. That's how I'll leave it at that. That's all I can say, bro.
Damn.
Well, to go back to what, as Color says, these are all assumptions that are people making, and I take the assumptions and throw them to the side because I'm not having anybody making an ass out of you and me. It's everyone's own opinions on how things work. I don't believe anything I hear and only half of what I see. But I will, I totally agree with what Coach says. 50-50 isn't going to work.
And here's another one, Mike Catania. I hope I'm saying your name right this time. Let me know if I'm saying it right. Catania, Mike Catania. But yeah. Mr. 305, my brother from another mother.
Yeah,
what's going
Mike
on?
Catania is an OG, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, so guys, do me a favor. I get the way I get, and I interrupt because y'all think that landing a plane like we ain't got connecting flights or something. You know what I mean? Don't be that captain that takes like 30 minutes to land the plane. Just land the damn plane.
Or like the
I got
captain
connecting flights to make.
or like the captain that went on a rant on his plane. Did you see that on the news?
No, I heard about something like that.
Yeah, he went on a rant about just people having courtesy and respect for everybody. Don't go sleeping on someone's shoulder. Don't go drooling on them. And he went on for about 5 minutes. The captain did. The pilot did.
Man,
Not
he
his
must have flown
stewardess.
on one of his own planes. That's what happened.
It was hilarious.
Hey, he should have said while he was 30,000 feet up, he should have said, man, I'm about to pull over and kick some people off this motherfucker.
Well,
I can't see very well. Is that Mudbone shushing me? Is that what he's doing?
He probably had to go back and stop too many fights and stuff.
Hey, by the way, if Lewis was on the plane, he'd be like, "Hey, listen, today's menu on the is Fred. I cooked him earlier today." Right?
I've only been up here 5 minutes. Where'd the cooking come in, man? Where?
You wake up, he cooked you. It doesn't matter.
Hey, Shake. Hey, Shake.
What's good?
Can you answer this question for me? If I highlight a comment, is this what I said? Did anybody up here hear this come out of my mouth?
I remember you saying that.
I don't remember me saying this neither. When did I say
we got
listeners?
matters? We got listeners. Can we read it? So.
Okay.
I remember there was a group of dudes who were screaming from the top of their lungs, "It's just practice. Prove it week 1." Lewis included. Now practice is selling the word. Hey, let me ask you a question, Color. Wasn't I making the whole analogy about practice test and who gives a shit about until game day?
Right.
So I'm saying practice is practice. So
and that's exactly. And what's funny is, again, you can say what you want. I was talking that last year, but what I brought up in this panel today, right? Because everybody keeps going back to last year. What I brought up today is what your head coach told you. Yeah. I didn't say that. I didn't mention nothing about 50-50. I didn't mention about it was a good day or bad day. Your coach McDaniel answered those questions this morning. So now are you mad at McDaniel? Because if you're definitely taking shots at me, have that same energy, homie, and go write that on the Miami Dolphin website and address Coach McDaniel. Because he said it before I did. Clown.
That's Roger's burner account. Roger Goodell.
By the way,
I don't give a damn.
I ain't even gonna have to defend myself like that because I said it was just practice when they were throwing 70-yard touchdowns in their pajamas last year, and I said it's just practice now when we're having bad days. So I've been consistent. I don't know what Roger Goodell is talking about.
Like I said, we don't need to be worrying about these practices and scrimmages, man. Injuries are more important. You know what I'm saying? Okay, we work on some things here, some things there, but look, we're not trying to, I don't think, blow anybody out. We're just merely working on pieces, man, working on parts.
Yeah, 100%, Fred. Practice is where they learn what's going right, what's going wrong, and what they have to work on.
By the way, I love this EM Dolphin fan, Mayweather's #1 fan. Damn.
Wow. Wow. Look at that.
But
hey, I do want to say, though, for the record, all of that stuff I just said is total cap because I believe that practice don't make perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect. So there you go.
Yeah, and, it's practice, the preseason games. Practice is where they figure out what they got to work on and who's wants to really play. And the preseason games are really for who are they going to keep.
Good point, Mr. Paul. Now, okay, some completed.
Hey man, your boy
passes.
CB83 say you cooking today, Fred.
Oh, that's my dude, man. CB83, man. That's my dude.
I can see where that.
That's what the B in CB means.
Hey, don't even start, Lou. Don't even start, Lou, man. Don't even start, Lewis, man.
I can see why you take a liking to CB, but I don't understand why CB likes you. Now, CB, you hang out with Buffalo fans
because he's starting to come around. Hey,
you like Buffalo fans now, CB?
Hey, Lou, you know why, Lou? Hey, Lou, you know why? He's beginning to believe. That's why, Lou.
He's starting to believe what?
He's beginning to believe in Fred, bro.
Man, look, Fred, it's funny. Like I said, Fred don't believe in Tua, and CB83 supposedly rumor is he has Tua panties that he wears at night. So I don't know where the connection is between y'all, but I mean, I guess that's cool.
Damn.
Hey, Lou, let me ask you this. Hold on, Lou. Let me ask you a question, right? Okay. You say I don't believe in Tua. You know, and you're right. You're right. Is there somebody, Lou, on this team that you don't believe in or have trust in, bro? Anybody? Anybody, Lou? I know it's somebody, Lou. I know it's somebody.
For me, Fred, it's Tua.
Okay, Color, Tua for you. Who's it for you, Lou? Who's it for you?
It's a lot of people on this team, and I would say
if I'm not mistaken, I kind of heard you rag on Smythe a little bit, like you weren't particularly high on Smythe.
See, this is where you're wrong, Fred. I agree with you. I'm not sold on Tua Tagovailoa. I'm not saying Tua Tagovailoa is the franchise quarterback for the next 5, 7 to 10 years. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is, and again, so I'm with you. But what I'm saying is that's for a lot of players. But when the fact of the matter is, when we come out and talk about what Tua still can't do.
Oh, that might be me. Saying I'm too close to the fan. My bad, Lou. Go ahead, Lou. Go ahead. I'm getting away from the fan.
The fact of the matter is, Fred, I'm not saying that he's the franchise guy, but what I'm telling you is I'm not going to sit here and talk about Tua can't throw a 15-yard out anymore because I think that's ridiculous. And that's the things that you do, right? But I don't give a shit. Again, that's your opinion. I'm not here to change it. But yeah, if you're asking me, are there question marks on this team? Absolutely. For me, you said, oh, is there one player? No, there's a lot of players because nobody has proven shit on this team yet. I don't give a damn who gets mad about it or if anybody gets in their feelings about it. There's a lot of players. But I'm not going to sit here and just shit on them every day and say what they can't do. Listen, I troll Durham Smythe. I don't believe, again, but when Color makes the point, can he catch the ball? Absolutely, Durham Smythe can catch the ball. Is he a more willing blocker than Gesicki? Absolutely. I just be trolling a lot. But when, again, going back and keep telling me what Tua can't throw or Tua can't do this or Tua can't do that, when we all know that's a lie and we've seen him do it, like what am I supposed to do with that, Fred?
Here's the thing too, Lewis, about Durham Smythe. I think you're trolling when he says he's trash, but at the end of the day, one thing I do agree with you is that he'll be in more teams than not. He'll be a second string tight end on more teams than not.
That's probably fair to say. That's why I don't get all in my feels about what Lewis says about it. Only when it's the full troll is on, then I just have to kind of walk away for a minute because I just don't believe he's trash. You know what I mean? But as I've said before, he may be trash, but if he is, then Gesicki is too. He's just better trash. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but see, here's the thing with Durham Smythe. We brought him in to complement Gesicki. So really, I wasn't expecting Durham Smythe to be that so-called super tight end because his main thing coming out of college was blocking. It wasn't catching, but he did get a little better with his catching, but not to the point, not on the same level as Gesicki. And hello to Color, Shake Money, Lewis, Michael K, Fred, Papa Paul.
What's up, Mr. Paul?
What's up, Mr. Paul?
Big Nick.
How you doing, man?
Who's the Dolphin Merriweather? Who is that?
That's Estefan.
Oh, Estefan. Okay. And shout out to the man, you threw me off with that. And shout out to the chat room. No, but I wouldn't expect him much out of Durham Smite because he's not on the same level as Kasicki as far as catching the ball and the way he run routes.
Nah, I don't buy that thing with Smythe. Like, he was just a catcher coming out of college, man. I mean, a blocker, just a blocker. I think Smythe has hands, man. Like I said, all his routes consist to be, man, are quarterback flare outs, man. And I'm sure this guy can get downfield and get open and make catches, man, if he was given the opportunity to.
Listen,
the only thing, here's one. I'll let you cook. The only thing I want out of Smythe is to be the safety blanket, to give two instead of when the play breaks down, give Tua a good 3 or 4 yards to move the chains and make it third and manageable. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And if a ball's coming through 3 defenders, just catch it.
Yeah.
Do what Mike Gesicki couldn't do.
So that's what I wanted out of Durham Smythe. Just to be the safety blanket.
Be careful now.
Be that safety
lightly.
blanket.
Uh-oh.
What you say? But go ahead.
Well, the only reason I say that, Crypto, is because the fullback, Tony Page, could do that.
Right. But what I was saying, Fred, is that I didn't say that Durham Smythe can't catch the ball. What I was saying that he was brought in to complement Gesicki because he knew how to block. I didn't say he couldn't catch the ball. I just said he was good in college for blocking. And did he catch balls in college? Yes, he did, but not on the same level as Gesicki. Okay, so now he with him being on the tight end roster, just like somebody just said, he has to start catching the ball better.
I don't get catching the ball better, Mr. Polk, man. You mean catch it better?
Well, some people think the earth is round. Some people think the earth is flat. Everybody got their opinions.
Well, if he can catch it, essentially what he has to do is he has to run better routes.
Exactly.
You can't just throw him off into the flat. You can't just throw him off into the flat and say catch the ball if I get into trouble.
That's a fair point. But if you're talking about actually catching the football into possession, then he's doing it at a 76% clip, which it's hard to get better than that for a tight end. But yeah, I know what you're saying, Mr. Paul, because what Lewis says too. Route running's got to be better. He's got to be able to be in those positions to make crazier catches like tight ends like Gesicki do. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I know what you're saying. Color, how do we know this guy can't run these routes, man? We don't draw plays.
That's my comeback to Lewis, Fred.
We don't know.
Fred, that's my comeback to Lewis. We don't know that yet.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
And then as far as the whole team roster go, and I'm gonna say something that's kind of what Lewis is saying. I'm on the fence with the whole roster because I want to see who's when the season starts. I want to see who's going to be able to help us to get to where we want to go as far as playoffs and Super Bowl.
We also know, Mr. Buck, we also know that Tyler Kroft, despite falling off of the earth, when he did shine in his career, is the type of receiver like we're talking about, like Gesicki, where he is more of a specialized, receiving type where he runs routes like that. Has he shown it in camp? Well, I don't know. It hasn't reflected on the depth chart so far, but if Smythe don't, maybe it's because they want to give Smythe that chance. And if it don't work out at the first sign of trouble, we're going with a guy who in his career has been a decent pass catcher like that and route runner and all that. Meanwhile, coaching up Higgins to possibly do the same thing. You know what I mean?
Right. And then we got to see what we have. And I'm just saying this. I'm not saying anything good about it. We got to see what we have with Julian Hill. That's another wide receiver we have on the team, but he's an undrafted rookie though.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of waiting to see it. Just like I said, you got the blueprint for a building. You just got to see what happens once we put the building up. See if it's going to stand. So that's the same thing with the Dolphins.
Right. I think what gives Smythe the advantage right now is that he's been here with McDaniel for the first year. and all that. So he's more up to speed. He is going to be in the spot that Mike McDaniel wants him to be in. Whether he gets rolled over and pancaked, that whatever. But he's going to be in the spot Mike McDaniel wants him to be in, which sometimes in our type of system could be more important than actually making the block.
Well, yeah, he's slowing that pass rusher down.
He's a veteran tight end right now. He's our veteran tight end.
Yeah, and so is the other guy that we got from I forgot where the hell we got him from. It doesn't even matter.
Not Julian Hill. Oh,
who's the guy we got from Denver?
Let me pull up.
Salbert.
Yeah, sure.
Who, to be honest with you, could be anybody from Cole Kmet to T.J. Hawkinson. To be honest with you, we just don't know on him either. He's had some flash. He's shown the ability to catch the ball. He's shown the ability to be that big basketball player type tight end posting up. You know what I mean? And he's very strong. So you never know.
I think our tight ends, man, I think they're going to be a big part in our offense, man. Not only just the offense, man, but a big part of our season, man. I see them doing good things, man. And be there when they have to, when we need them to be there.
Right.
I think they'll be okay, man.
Who really respects a guy like Cole Kmet in this community or in this league? Yeah, he put 2 touchdowns on us.
Yeah. I'm good with sneaky good.
Hey, by the way, I don't know if you want to keep it going, Color. I got to shut this down about 10 at 8 o'clock.
Oh, you're good, man. You're good. We have got to get things in order. Ali and I have got to get things in order with Top of the Tailgate in the morning, so I'm good, man.
I was going to say before Lewis left that he was going to be inducting Durham Smythe into the Hall of Fame. He's going to be veteran up for his yellow jacket.
Hey, final take, Shane. Final take.
Mike McD will smite thee. Mike McD will smite all of thee.
And I'll catch you next time, man. Everybody, have a good night.
Later, Fred.
Right.
All right, Fred. Tighten up in New Jersey, man. Tighten up.
Go ahead. And Pete, you want to say something?
What up, fellas? Not much, man. Just tuning in. Cleared up right now.
Congratulations, Pete. Skylar made
Color. Hey, Color didn't retire, so I'm back up here.
No, and I don't hate you, Pete.
What's going on, Howdy, Pete?
I hope you don't hate me, Pete.
Honestly, you know what, Color? I love you. There's some people that you love so much that no matter what slip up they have or a bad day, you just don't look at them no side way. You know what I'm saying?
And you are right. I have been going through some shit in my head, but I ain't no loon, bro. I was writing what I said, and I stand by it. But you're right. I don't need, you're a friend of mine, and I probably shouldn't have went that hard in the paint, bro.
That's all right, DeVore. No, it's all good.
That's cool, Color. But you know how I do
man.
it, Color. You know
I want my chips. I want my chips,
goddammit. I've had a busy day today. I've been hoping to be able to talk some of this practice stuff. And you know what, Papa Paul, I know you're one of the guys that don't like to hear complaints and concerns. So, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, dude. I do not feel comfortable.
Howdy, Pete.
Look.
Howdy, Pete. Wait, Howdy, Pete. I just want to say that's your opinion. I agree to disagree with you. But I just don't. It's practice. There's no reason to be negative.
No. You see that y'all
By the
trying
way,
to
Pete,
do
real
this.
quick,
Y'all
Papa
trying to
Paul
do
has
this.
had his share of 2 ears come at him too, bro. Just so you know, man.
No, Papa Paul. I'm gonna keep going at
did.
Papa Paul, because I feel like if I don't put this pressure on this team, I'm gonna turn out to be Papa Paul soon.
Pete, I've done 50 years waiting for a fucking Super Bowl.
You see what I'm saying? It's gonna be me, like Crypto said not too long. I'm gonna be like 98 years old by the time we win it, based on Crypto's periodically tables that he throws up mathematically.
But what I'm saying is, this is the biggest hype, the most I've seen people looking at Miami Dolphins winning a Super Bowl in decades.
But how long have I been telling you guys, Papa Paul? This is all fan driven. This is all top heavy.
It's
and
not.
I've been telling. Yes, it is. We're not that team. Look at nobody got an orange jersey today.
In the age of social media, it's more amplified. It would have been amplified back then if we would have had social media in '84. I guarantee you. If we'd have had Twitter and YouTube in '84, it would have been just as amplified.
Oh yeah,
it's more
I
amplified.
would have been all over Tannehill if I was on social media during his run, man. Are you kidding me?
It's just more amplified now.
Back in the days, though, the best thing you could do was burn the newspaper when you didn't like what you were reading.
Not only that, but
put in a classified ad.
No, but here's the other thing: you will have to watch the news and wait till they get to sports just to get a little niblet of what's going on with.
Oh my God!
That's how
the news station.
I used to have to dig out the USA Today paper in Chicago to try to find the Dolphins.
Exactly.
You get 2 minutes of Kim Bokamper on the channel news. You think that's enough Dolphin content? I used to have to put that thing in repeat back in the day.
One thing I got to say to you, Pete, is that you are believing everything you hear.
No. I believe everything I see, and I'm not taking everything new. What the fan base is trying to exploit and put loud, I'm going by what I've been standing on, Papa Paul, based on the 0-4 end with Tua. I've been calling it out. It's figured out. It's concerning. We're having problems. And yet everything is, it's just practice. No, it's not just practice, because if it was just practice.
How can you hate this guy? Like, no.
And I don't disagree. And you know what? Yesterday I thought, like, man, I got to stop maybe disagreeing or stop coming up on panels, because now I'm starting to feel like if I disagree with Color, now he thinks I don't like him. If I disagree with Shake, now he thinks I don't like him. It's not like that.
We always disagreed. What are you talking about? We've always disagreed.
It's only when you accuse me of. It's only when you accuse me of double speak, bro. That's the only time, bro.
Hey.
No, I hear you. But I'm just saying.
Hey, Pete, you ain't never got to worry about that, bro.
No, you don't have to worry about it, because disagreeing is part of a debate.
Right.
And that's basically what we're up here doing, is debating.
Shake Buddy said it's already written in stone, huh?
Like crypto likes to say, gaslight.
But you can't disagree on what could be or what should be. You can't debate on what could be or what should be. You have to debate on what is. And Pete, you like to debate on what should be or what could be.
Because what is?
Well, here's the thing. Nobody knows.
Fair. That's fair, though. Like for Nick to say and for Pete to do, you know?
Yeah.
You know, that's the part of the show is we agree and we disagree. And no two of us are going to have the same opinions or the same outlook on everything.
Right, because everybody's different.
But look, and yesterday, and I didn't really care about, like I keep telling you guys, that 7-on-7, the 1-on-1s, I don't care about that. Again, guys.
Hold on, real quick. El Capitan, you taking over?
No, I'm popping up because I'm not gonna sit here and let Pete with his hate doublespeak go on any longer, Pete. We're not gonna have his hate doublespeak anymore, Pete.
Golly, Capitan came and throw me off the ship, man.
Walk the plank, Pete.
Man overboard. Man overboard.
Walk the plank.
El Capitan, did you bring the chair?
Oh, no, I didn't bring the chair. Chair's left in somewhere in Alabama, apparently, I guess. I don't know.
Damn.
Ain't no damn
he stopped on.
It ain't no damn. I got one. You should have one.
I mean, it's chair jitsu out here these days.
We're going to the Super Bowl. We got a Liam Eichenberg.
Who's going to the game Friday?
No, what was that, Big Nick?
I'll be there. Hopefully, if God is good, Papa Paul.
It is your duty. It is your duty to your community to go get you a folding chair, Crypto.
I got
get a folding chair, huh? No, that Cap left his in the foothills of West Virginia. That's probably where it's at.
That's what it is. Yeah, no, I left it in
throw your baseball cap, throw your Miami Dolphin cap in the air, and go woo-doo! And we coming.
Yeah, not the hootie-hoo. Not the
West
hootie-hoo.
Virginia is the wrong place to drive. I tell you that much.
If anybody wants
that small town shit ain't resonating so much now, is it?
If anybody,
West Virginia.
I was just thinking in the TFTG kids cartoon, right? We're all gonna like there's gonna be a kid version of Crypto. He's part of the group, right? But one of the other antagonists of the show is, besides the Hard Rock security guard and janitor, right? Is gonna be Crypto's dad. And we're gonna be like getting in trouble and like messing up his garden and shit and walking on his lawn, and Crypto's dad is gonna come out and he's gonna be like a spitting image of Crypto, just older, right?
That sounds like a
whereas Crypto's gonna have like some Vienna sausages in his hand, and his dad's gonna have the full hot dog. You know what I mean?
Pause.
Hey, man.
Pause.
That sounds very
anyway,
suggestive.
hey,
Pause.
Papa Paul
No Ritz crackers.
Wait, we want to say something, Papa Paul? Go ahead.
Well, I know you can't make it Friday night, Shake, you said, right?
Yeah.
So I still have an extra ticket for Friday night if someone wants to join me.
If you reach out to Cap for Life, Papa Paul, because I was trying to get him a ticket. He was asking for a ticket. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
And we're gonna make
Game
it
tickets.
authentic because we're gonna get Crypto to tell us stories about back when his dad would get mad at him as a kid. So we'll like incorporate those genuine stories into the show. You know what I mean?
Listen, Color's not capping here. This is a real discussion we've had about the program making a fucking cartoon.
All I
I'm
need
not
is
kidding.
a graphic artist, man. That's all I need, bro. Or learn it myself, one or the other, because it's coming. The TFTG Kids cartoon, man.
I'm telling you, it's something we've discussed in detail about. You know,
I actually had a cartoon made out of me
image-
one time before.
Whatever image you
Somebody
have
drew a
of
cartoon
Crypto,
of me.
whatever image you use of Crypto, just make sure that his microphone is extra large. That's
Oh yeah, no, it's not gonna be a microphone. Crypto's mouth is gonna be most of his head. That's what it's gonna be.
I don't know, though, bro. We'd have to have Crypto's full authorization on that because that could be misconstrued the wrong way in today's society.
So Papa Paul, you have an extra ticket. You
Yeah, you
say?
gotta have that microphone a different design. or whatever.
I doubt I could get there Friday night, but I'll check with the boss. I doubt it because I literally been traveling all over the Eastern Seaboard all week. But
hey, the only reason I wasn't at training camp the last 2 days is because I spent 9 days down in Miami for last week's training camp, and I had to come home and do a few things and see the wife.
yeah, I went
I
last
hope not
Tuesday.
in that order.
Hey, and every time the security guard tries to run us out of the stadium, little Big Nick is gonna be like, "You can't do that."
Yeah,
right.
Fucking accountability his ass real quick.
He's gonna be, "I want your name and badge number." It's gonna be like, "I want your name and badge number."
You gonna have like a little small squad car of the guy Hightower and Lieutenant Harris on Police Academy. He's questioning Hightower. Lieutenant Harris.
We won't be as direct. We won't be as direct. He'll be like, "I want your name and employee number."
Unfortunately, I think my character would be the cop, but it wouldn't be the typical cop. It'll be the fucking truth police. Every time Pete get on here and say some crazy shit.
Well, that's right. That's what your character would be internally facing to the group of kids. Yeah, definitely. That's good. I like that.
Hey, Caller, don't forget now, if y'all do a cartoon with Crypto, don't forget to have him wearing the DPP jersey.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to us.
Damn, Mr. Polk, that's brutal.
DVP jersey, exactly.
Hey, and Fred got to have on the white Miami Dolphin jersey. Fred has on a white Miami Dolphin jersey or a T-shirt, but through you can see through the T-shirt, you can see a Baltimore Ravens shirt on up under it.
Right. Actually, Big Nick, from Michael K, I was thinking about like he wears like one of these like snot covered white T-shirts that's like too short for his belly. You know what I mean?
Yeah, his belly poking out. You can see the lint in his belly button.
And he's like walking around picking his nose and shit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And
Michael K, $2 donation says, "Make Stephen D the Cartman."
And his only vocabulary consists of Dolphins suck, Buffalo. Dolphins suck, Buffalo.
My daddy said you're dud fans. He said you all belong over Niagara Falls.
Hey, and Mark can be the guy.
You can have him going over Niagara Falls in a barrel.
Mark can be Daddy Moneybags, but all we have to do is trick him out all his money every day. Just keep tricking him out his money.
Right, and he's gonna. I picture his character to look without copyright infringement, sort of like that Rugrats kid with the square glasses. You
know? Everything we do, we tricking out his money. You know, Mark, you can donate to TFTG.
Yeah.
And you can time out the cartoon.
This is how you guys enjoy yourselves when
Yes.
No,
the team
Pete,
is not playing?
we'd rather be doom and gloom.
When the
Like,
sky's falling in training camp.
Exactly.
I get it.
I'm
Nice
glad you
conversation.
know. Now you know how
There
we
you
enjoy
go,
ourselves.
Pete.
Thank you.
That's
Like
how we
you
do
guys
it.
are you
I
guys are in
appreciate it.
pain. You guys got to go around and have a laugh, and I get it, but I can't. Like I'm
Who is
so
in pain?
mad. I'm okay.
Hey, little
What's
Pete,
going on,
little
Pete?
Pete's gonna be sitting Indian style on the field, counting all the blades of grass,
Hey, listen,
going,
you got
we're missing a blade of grass.
You got a wonderful family. Shit, you shouldn't be mad. Anyway, I'm gonna close this thing up. If anybody wants to keep it going, let me know. Because if not, I gotta shut this down.
Hey, Pete's avatar is Wednesday from the Addams Family. That's his avatar, Wednesday.
Yeah, I can't hold it open. My sister, I got my sister's kids right now.
Okay.
I'm walking the dog around the neighborhood. She's not feeling well. She's gonna stay the night in the hospital. She's got a little bit of a kidney infection going on. She's like 8.5 months pregnant, so she's getting ready to pop any day now. So she's okay. She's all right, but she was worried. She had spiked a fever late last night and called me. Her husband, who is Brandon the bookie, he's a trucker, so he's gone during the week and stuff like that. So it falls on me and mine to take care of her and her kids when shit like this goes down.
Well, our thoughts and prayers are with her.
If I was able to come visit your sister, you know what I'd say to her to cheer her up? I would say, yeah, I understand the baby is giving you a lot of hell right now, but it was so much fun making that little motherfucker.
That's right. That's what my brother-in-law will say. Then again, my sister is I love her to death, but God bless her, dude. She's the thunder and the lightning. If you get me, she is something else. That one. So he's more man than everybody on this panel dealing with that woman.
Shit.
All right, y'all, man. So anyway,
bro.
Lewis, you want to hold it down, or Lewis, can you hold it up for a little bit before?
No, I just hopped back in. I was getting the kids out the shower. I'm about to sit down and eat dinner, Shake. So I was just hopping in. All
right. So So anybody want to give final thoughts before I close this thing down?
Yeah, I'm gonna say it again, man. I'm gonna say it again. Opening day, I think the Miami Dolphins are going to send a real message to the rest of the NFL, and I think we're going to beat the shit out of the Chargers.
That's what's up.
You want to know what? I'll end with this too, Big Nick. I'll say that the Miami Dolphins defense is going to work the Chargers worse than anyone even anticipated. Offense is going to be all right, but it's going to be the Miami Dolphins defense that's going to show out week 1 against the Chargers.
Capitan, I agree with you 100%.
31-6.
No, the Chargers will score at the very most. They would only score 17 points.
I like that. I was thinking like a 28-17 myself.
I'm calling it now, 31-6. 31-6. And if you keep talking, I'll say 38-6.
All right. Well, anyway, listen, I'm going to be here Monday and Tuesday of next week. I'm not going to be able to do the Friday shows because I got some things going on, but definitely going to make time for the Smoke Lounge. El Capitan, if you could stay backstage, I see run something by you, if you don't mind.
Yeah. No, not a problem. Just to let everybody know, I spoke with Tonk, and he's going to be on next Tuesday night, TMI. He's going to try to do like 2 or 3 a month. So getting TMI back in the swing of things will be great, man.
Oh, yeah.
Well, what's up? And y'all don't forget to join me at 8:45 tonight.
Yes, Mr. Papa Paul over there at the West Coast. He's going to be on here in the next 45 minutes. We'll see you over there, Papa Paul.
Yeah.
Y'all have a good night. Talk to you soon.
Later, buddy.
All right. Hands up, guys. Peace, everybody. Y'all have a good night. I'm out.
Peace and hair grease.